like a cushion with a kapok. That was out of time. Kapok is the non-beans.
Oh, thank you.
No beans.
No beans.
Yes, I want no beans today.
Yes, we have no beans.
Yes.
We have no beans today.
It's weird. I find that they're really intensely good for adjusting in different ways, but once you sit on them, they become like cement, and they cut off the circulation in my butt.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's just my experience. Would you like to go out and see what's what? You wanna take
How
the
did you
lead?
know that?
Just for me.
Something nice enough playing over your phone.
I'm going crazy.
It's so much fun.
Well, there's a million candles here, so might as well use it.
Garden got pretty chopped, didn't it?
It did. We were noticing it on Saturday. I know. That's what we said. There was a tree there. Somebody even knew what kind of tree it was. Exactly. Exactly. You're right.
Why did that tree get cut down?
Somebody said a few weeks ago.
Oh, I was. Maybe
I.
it was true. Was it true on Saturday?
It was
Yeah.
gone Saturday,
That is so odd.
isn't it?
Well,
I guess I won't do these. Okay. Is that enough?
I think that's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. On to tea.
Since it's only going to be the three of us.
Yes, it'll be an
And the
intimate
dog.
gathering. Where'd he go? Tea.
She's probably looking for leftovers. I'm just going to get some. Did you find any leftovers? You didn't. I found something that was really terrible. After she found something that was like somebody having a shoe or something. It could be under. This could be really cleverly. No, that's
Not that clever.
well, when the rains come, or the fire comes, or whatever.
One or the other, or both. So that's it. Tea, and that's it. Okay. Let me see my list here.
Where the heck did they put them?
5 minutes and like there's like nobody came except for me which is enough. Jesus Christ.
Excuse me?
What's the deal, Lucille?
Naturally, I live in your house.
Of course. Why not? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff?
That's what I was just doing.
Huh?
That's what I was just doing.
Did I put it in here? I could have. I didn't think I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. It being October and there being a red flag one in May.
Oh, yeah.
Freaked everybody in San Jose so that nobody wants to leave their house.
Right.
One of the reasons I brought the sniffs was because I didn't want to leave her at home when there was a fire.
Yeah.
Fire warning.
Susan usually rings the bell, right?
You know, it's usually associated with something Michael arranges, but
Well, I mean, when I come on Monday, usually she rings the bell. But I guess I'll just have to see if she's here. If not, we'll adjust it back.
if not, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put it back for you. But I put her chair there and the bell, just in case she decided to do it.
Yeah. That would feel very special.
What did you not find anything to eat? You poor baby. The baby didn't find a thing. Oh, the belly. Oh, the belly. Yeah. Good girl. You're happy to be here, aren't you?
You're such a good girl. Yes. Who's your first girl? Who's your first girl? You are. I am this girl. You are. You are.
Well, if it's suppose if it has, if there are very few people in the room, I might just do a second round of meditation after the talk.
Okay.
Which is an interesting thought.
Do you want any special tea or water, or what would you like to start off with?
Champagne is good.
Champagne.
Champagne's good to start.
I was
with.
thinking more of a margarita.
More of a margarita.
It's hot.
Might be. It's like, well,
You know, it's
One
maybe
more tonight.
a strawberry margarita.
and pina colada
No.
for the main event. Because it's,
I
nutrition.
can't drink rum.
If you want people to show up for Zen, this is a good, a good advertisement campaign. I'm just
Do
saying.
you like pina colada? Along with your Zen.
Yes, good. It's good.
Oh, anyway, back to reality.
What reality? Oh, I should probably. Oh, in a minute I'll tuck the dog in. 57. We really just are. They're just flooding through doors right now.
Well, let's give it.
Oh, Susan Perkins, not tonight.
No?
You need to stay home.
Okay.
Be there to ring the bell.
Hmm?
Good.
Which side do you want it on?
Wait. I usually do, which is the bell
Bell
here.
here.
Right-hand bell ringer.
Is this longer okay?
Yeah, that's the right one for that one.
Okay.
And let me hook you up.
What do you want, huh?
Steak. Give me meat.
She actually might not mind a bowl of water.
Just get water for the puppy.
Come here. See, that's not real. That's like
Oh.
that's like girl shit, you know.
Why do they do that to women's clothing? Okay, and that can go underneath the Rakasu.
Well, it's what the really bad thing is when it's
We'll just want if we put it through there.
when they do it to your pants, so you have a pocket that's not a pocket, or a
Right,
pocket
no,
that's
I-
an inch deep because they think it'll spoil the shape of your hips.
Yeah, I
Like,
followed that problem for a long time. It's Yeah, it's kind of infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another systemic issue.
Yeah, I have a couple of pair of pants that are my Christopher's old pants. They're Uniqlo, and it's like you put your hands in and there they are, all the way in, up to the wrists, room for. You're so grateful. It's so silly that you would have to be grateful, but. Well, hello, Bubble Trouble.
Well, I will say one thing. Always remember there are people online. I have never had a single day with less than 5 people watching at a time. So there's always people.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah, no, I definitely have people who give me feedback after I should definitely.
What did you say? I don't know what you said you wanted.
Let me just have water.
Just water?
That'll be fine. I didn't actually answer the question.
Oh, you didn't answer. Okay. That's why I didn't do that.
Hi.
Because I didn't turn you on.
Who is this meditating with us tonight?
This is my dear dog Zoki. She's gonna come say hi. Zoki, yeah. She may actually hang out with Odin in the other room because sometimes she decides she has to take care of everybody in the room, so she keeps wandering around, sort of.
Greeting everyone.
Again? Again? Okay, here we go.
Oh. Well, of course again.
Just the belly. Not the belly, not the belly. You have to... Oh, that's a lot of brushing. Good evening.
Hello. Hi, Linda.
Hey. Nobody's doing bells, but do you want to do it? That's fine. I'm thinking we're a small traumatized group today. Probably red flag warnings are not helping anybody. So it may be that we'll do we'll sit and then I'll have a talk and then maybe we'll do another section. Then maybe we'll do another meditation. Just
With the wind?
I don't think the wind's here yet, though.
No,
Is
it's
it?
not supposed to start till midnight. So where are the red flag warnings? In Santa Rosa?
Napa, Sonoma, Alameda County, whole, just everywhere. It's interesting. They think it's going to be very dry and hot and windy starting tonight.
Yeah, midnight.
So
It's
makes,
gonna be 100 tomorrow.
yeah. Only 90 in Berkeley.
And 90 in Berkeley.
Lucky you.
All right, 91, but still. Yeah.
You want to do 30? Did you do that?
No, I don't want to do 30. I want to do that. Our normal amount. I'm gonna plop the monster. You're gonna go hang with Odin, okay? Yeah. All right. Let me get you a bowl of water.
Oh, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We'll put it in with Odin, maybe. Not that
I'll go fill it up again.
she drinks some. Yeah, I gotta go say hi.
Say hi too.
Gotta go say hi.
Oh, it's so cute.
Gotta go say
Had to say hi.
Oh, she's got water.
She's got water, and you're gonna stay in there. You're gonna stay with Odin. I'm gonna do a thing, and that way you don't have to worry. And you've got Bunny. This,
What's happening?
this is not being broadcast yet. We're starting a little late, aren't we?
I happened to see your name on the list the other day and thought, oh, I hope you come back.
Yeah, I'm definitely, yeah. I joined up and everything.
Oh,
I just had scheduling. Do you leave the back ones on, or what do you do?
I actually would turn them off. You can yeah. I'm not a big fan of fluorescent boxes.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Are you okay? You don't
Yeah,
need.
it's nice.
Yeah. You get to see the.
I have to keep the ones on you, right?
Yeah, so I can't see. It's good. Somebody's still in the bathroom?
Hmm?
Somebody in the bathroom?
Yes, somebody's in the bathroom.
Hey, welcome. All right, well, we'll get going. I'll say the koan first. Welcome. There's still somebody? We will, okay. They will emerge. It wasn't this person.
So different from last week because it rained last week.
Was it raining here?
It wasn't raining in the evening.
But it was all damp. And now it's like a different kind of weather. Hot and intense. I think we'll get going. So welcome everybody. We're going to sit with a koan that's from something called the Diamond Sutra, Diamond Cutter's Sutra, the wisdom so sharp, so pointed, it cuts a diamond. And it's something that's often labeled as the Buddha's last words in various forms. And this is a translation by Bill Porter, who does a great job of Chinese translations, and it's a little different than what you might have heard. It goes like this: as a lamp, a cataract, a star in space, an illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble, a dream, a cloud, a flash of lightning. View all created things like this. View all created things like this. So all the things are so solid. As a lamp, a cataract, a star in space, an illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble, a dream, a cloud, a flash of lightning. View all created things like this. So we'll sit with that and notice all the dreams are you, all the parts, the bubble, the lightning, the created thing. Oh, thank you. So just notice what it's like to be here without, if you can, without bringing in stories about who you are, or what just happened, or what's going to happen, what needs to be done. It's just like it's brand new just now. Notice your breathing as though you never breathed before. You don't even know what it does. Notice how it is to have a body. Notice emotions if you have them right now. What are they like? Maybe emotions that don't even have a story to them. Just a feeling. As a lamp, a cataract, a star in space, an illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble, a dream, a cloud, a flash of lightning. View all created things like this. a lamp, a cataract, a star in space. An illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble. A dream, a cloud, a flash of lightning. If you all created things like this, the thing I just worried about, a bubble, a dewdrop, a flash of lightning. My heartache, my rage, a dewdrop, a bubble, a lamp, a cataract. Thank you. So we'll have a short break with tea, and then we'll come back for a talk and conversation.
Sometimes he'll say, "Oh,
I
yeah,
drop.
that's just
You
right."
know, I
That's
know.
just right, yeah. Especially if you
I
gotta
drop
have that.
pretty easily. 'cause
All right,
I've been
well, we
doing it
have-
for a long, long time. But
We
I
have
didn't
people out in
focus on
television land who
it.
need to be, who need to be entertained.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they all have Larry's?
But I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Now suddenly thousands of people going to Bhutan.
No, I think we're, I'm assuming that
We had a retreat here.
we have a, all right. Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah. Now it sounds like we're gonna do something official.
It's great to be. I don't know if you get to hear how wonderful the woo 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 is. It's like, welcome back, Bubbles. I can't remember how long ago it was. Maybe it was 6 months ago. I decided I was going to need more space, and so I had been surfing various sites, including, you know, a website called Tiny House Porn, you know, just because like, people really like tiny houses, and so I'd been looking at all the different pictures, and I found a company that made did everything from large tiny houses down to things that were more shed size. And it looked like the one I picked fit into a corner, had 5 sides, looked a little Hobbit-like, had a dormer and big windows and, you know, French front door and 48 square feet. It's just like, it's not big. It's not big, but big enough that I can get my art stuff in there and, you know, possibly one child if he doesn't wiggle too much or complain. So it was, because it had to go upstairs, I had it, they deliver a kit. They will deliver it pre-built, but the pre-built pieces are kind of heavy, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to get them into place, so I got the kit. So I get a heap of Canadian lumber, cut to size, and somewhat cryptic instructions. And this little thing is built like a real house. You know, it's all the lumber is the same size you'd build a real house out of, and it's just as hard to build as a real house. And so I've had many adventurous days. I have one particular laborer who's willing to come on weekends when he's not doing something else, and he knows stuff, and friends come and we do bits of it. So on Sunday, the only day, like in 2 weeks, I'd been able to get help and be able to do it myself. We'd gotten the walls up. It's like they're even straight up and down. They're, you know, right angles and everything else. But it was time to raise the roof. As if I know how to do this, you know. And so I've got instructions. I've got a video. The video doesn't do the same thing as the instructions, but, you know, I think, well, if I look at it a few times and then just like go start, it'll probably work. And it has, so there's these heavy 2x6 beams that go to a point, and then you're supposed to attach them to this hexagonal hub. And the way they show it on the video, it's like they all come together like a ponytail perfectly. But the fact is, they're all like lumber, you know, and everything. It's either the right length or it's not, and it wasn't. And so we spent, I don't know, hours. Like one would meet, but the other one wouldn't, and then you could like take a little off here, but then, you know, it just never, you know, we put up the 4 like we were supposed to, and then we started adding the other 3, and it was getting worse and worse, and we'd spent, you know, anyway, building projects. So at one point I'm standing on the ladder, aware that I'm wasting this guy's time and my money and time, and nothing's happening. We've just done something that almost certainly will have to be taken apart again, and I don't know what to do next. And they're not answering their customer service email at the moment. And I looked out, and something caught my eye on the side of the house, and it was a sheet of spider web with the sun shining off of it and the wind doing this with it. And I looked away, and then I looked back, and there it was again. And it was like, and then I kind of let it have me, or let myself have it. And everything changed. It was like, I was still standing up there with the impossible problem and everything else, but all of a sudden, there was the spider web. And I'd almost tuned it out, but it was like so insistent that, no, this is what's going on right now. So that story came to mind when I was meditating with this koan, that kind of thing, where something gets so opaque, dense, real, true, wrong, and it really has you. You believe it, and you put everything you think you have to bear on that problem, which is never quite enough, because you're in it, because it's like you're covered in tar pit, and so nothing. You're part of the problem, me on the ladder. So it was interesting. After that, I looked around a little bit more, and we tried a few more things, and then I said, hey, it's 3:30. Your little girl is going to be so thrilled that you're coming home early. And we'll just clean up, and we'll be out of here, and I'll get in touch with them in the morning, and they will tell me how to raise a roof. So it's interesting where you can't get yourself out. You can't get yourself out, but something else can get you out sometimes. If you don't fight it too hard, sometimes something else can. It's like sometimes in the middle of a fight where you start laughing, like something just strikes you as funny. Doesn't happen nearly often enough, but like when that happens, it's magic. You're saved. I was also looking a little bit at the words. A lamp, a cataract. I think a cataract must be kind of a storm, because I remember from Shakespeare. Is it a waterfall? But cataracts and hurricanes from Tempest. Is that? Anyway, it's some watery thing. It's okay. I do think of it as a waterfall too.
It's a lens you have to take out. The ophthalmologist
Yeah. I think it is not intended to be that, but
Don't use those terms. It gets us very stuck.
I know, it's interesting. A lamp, a cataract, a star in space, an illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble, a dream, a cloud, a flash of lightning. And I was thinking, all those things for me point to stuff that comes together in time for a moment. The elements all come together to make a flash of lightning, and then it goes away again. A lamp is like, it's like the light, the flame of the lamp. It's not the same thing a second later. It just keeps on, it keeps on reforming itself. This light, a dream like. It's made out of all these different threads of memory and intuition and everybody else in the world's dreams, and a time of day, a night to sleep, and a memory of that. And to think of all created things as something that just came together for a moment. It can make something that otherwise seems heavy or effortful or annoying. All of a sudden it can get this brightness. Oh, I I'm only going to get this once, you know, me standing here holding up roof beams and the spider web going like that, you know. Well, 20 years from now, there won't be me standing on a ladder. There won't be that spider web. So it's interesting, I guess, just to think about how the world congeals into the thing we make ourselves suffer with, whatever that is, or excite ourselves too, but it just becomes so real that, you know how sometimes excitement turns into a complete mind hack where I just absolutely have to get this thing done right now and it takes over my life for, 10 years or something? That too is like, what if it's a bubble? What if it's just a flash of lightning? And then I can step away from my project long enough to take a breath and like, maybe it happened by itself, maybe something solves itself without me being in the tar pit with it, or yeah. So it's a funny koan. It doesn't have a lot of material. It's like a bubble. It's a phrase that's like a bubble. But it seems to do something. So I wonder what was it like for you? What does it do, or what does it bring to mind, or what are the stories that go with it?
Well, I had a vision. The word bubble really stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the whole thing, for me, spoke of impermanence.
That being the classic word for, yeah.
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 But the bubble imagery, I saw my granddaughter, who loves to play with bubbles, out on the deck, and how delighted she is, looking at the bubbles, and then they pop and they're gone. And for her, that's magic and delight. And for me, sometimes as an adult, when my bubble pops, I'm disappointed or sad, or where'd it go? I wanted it to be real and permanent and stay with me. But just realizing that I could look at it in a different way from her point of view, that it's delightful. It was here, it was lovely, poof, it's gone. And that opens up the possibility for something new to come along, too.
Yeah, and it comes to mind that a granddaughter's like a bubble, too. Like she's going to be little like that.
Yeah.
So briefly.
It's true.
I mean, forever, of course, but also, yeah. It's eternal, but it's like, oh.
Yeah, each moment with her, a bubble.
How old is she?
She's 3.
Sounded very 3-ish. That's
Yeah.
great. It's so, my 25-year-old is still 3. Inside.
Sometimes I'm still 3. And she brings that out.
That's great. What else we get?
It made me very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've just in general been sad, not depressed, which is a nice thing to say. Just sad. Just sad lately, just about what about my kids growing up, and about what their life is going to be like, and what the world's going to be like, and the islands disappearing.
Yeah.
In the storms, and really being happy where I live, and knowing that it could disappear in fire. Yeah, I've just been feeling that fragility a lot. So it just made me sad. And then the other thing is that I haven't really been writing much, and that flash of writing a poem, I just haven't really felt that in a long time, and I miss that. I don't really know how to get it back. I feel like if I try to get it back, I won't get it back. But if I don't try to get it back, then here I am, not writing. So, yeah, I'm just kind of in a quiet, sad place. So the koan just felt like that to me.
It sort of feels like the tracks of the poem are in the memory that I haven't written a poem in a while. Sort of like, it's like, oh, it may be coming without even telling you.
Maybe.
Might not be up to you. But that's, yeah. Yeah, I heard it somewhere where there are a couple of women, sisters from the Bahamas who had grown up there, and one of the islands that's gone was one of her favorite places, and she's been somebody who was holding it all together and being very, very appropriate and very, very socially apt. And then she started talking about losing her island. I'm like, and it's funny, as we're learning these things that we had no idea, like you were saying, and I did it too, this fire weather, I packed a bag. We're learning to let go in this, but it's not a pleasant letting. It's not, I don't know what's pleasant or unpleasant. It's just like, it's such a new thing, I think.
I feel like I'm very pragmatic. It's like I'm sad, but I'm also very pragmatic about it. Like, okay, this is just the way it is now. Just kind of
I know, isn't it?
chugging along.
It's what this is. It's like treat every created thing as though it was a flash of lightning or a cloud. It's like, yeah, I noticed that too. I love my house, and wow, probably good chance it'll be here when I get home, but yeah. That distinction between sad and depressed is, do you want to say anything more about it? It's good. I mean, it's good to say. I think
Well, feeling sad feels more like evanescent, like more you can move through it. It's a feeling I can see and name and move through. But
You
being
don't-
depressed is solid. It's like sludge.
it moves you, makes your body
Yeah.
into,
And it moves you kind of. Yeah. So, yeah,
and tells
a
its own
different-
stories too. Tells
Yeah.
its
It's a different feeling.
yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's a spectrum. Like sadness usually has an underlying cause, whereas depression is its own thing. But there's a lot of overlap. You can be sad and it carries on into depression, and you can be depressed and maybe there's a good reason because there's a lot of underlying sadness. So it's
Yeah, and I
I
think
mean, depression is considered like pathologic, where sadness is a natural reaction. But there's a lot of
there's a lot.
overlap. So.
And I think those of us who felt them both surf that edge a bit.
Yeah,
Like, how can I?
I like that when you say depression is its own thing. Like it.
Then it takes over you. Then I'm a depressed person.
Yeah. 'Cause it's
Yeah, it gets.
its own creature, its own. Yeah, demon, its own demon.
Yeah, and it's like it has its own agenda. That's not. Yeah. Can take you over, and sometimes you want to let sadness go where it goes. You just don't want to get stuck. You just don't want to have it start to tell you lies about the world. That was the thing for depression for me, was it tells lies. It's as though neurologically somehow it sits next to the forever part of your brain. You know what I mean? It tells you it's forever. Sadness, you can have it, but it's not telling that lie. It's telling you all sorts of other, Yeah, but the one of you will never be happy again. That's it's a thing you can't know. And yeah, that's funny, and that's when you lose track of the bubble. That's where you lose track of the evanescence of things. That's where you lose track of this too shall pass. This is, you don't have the. And a lot of things are like, a lot of human emotions are in the realm of this takes me over and I do not have a future. I don't know.
Anger's like that too.
Anger can have that. Yeah. That's why laughter does the funny thing in a fight, where it makes it, you can have anger after that, but it's like, it's funny. Yeah.
Well, the bubble thing was really, I loved it because, it's taken months and months of preparation on the guardianship of our granddaughter. Months of papers, and then the father decides he's going to get in. All of this murky anxiety. And we were just like on this roller coaster all the time. And then we walked into court. Nobody, all these barriers weren't there. And the judge sits us down and says, "What's your name? What's your name?" To my husband and myself. And then he says, "Do you have any questions?" So I'm still waiting for all of these things that are going to come at me.
All the shoes are going to drop, yes.
All of this crap's going to, all this sludge is going to come at me. and I'm like, "Well, not yet." And so he says, "Okay." So he says, "Well," and he signs the paper and hands it to the clerk, and he says, "Okay, the guardianship is granted." And I sat there. My husband gets up. He's smart. He gets up, and I'm sitting there in front of the judge, and he can see my mouth is open, and everything just like burst. And then he says to me, "If you don't ask questions, it'll go quicker." And so I go, "Oh!" And so I go running out of the courtroom. And it was truly, and both of us went out giggling. That he is this 6'6" guy going out of the courtroom giggling, and it was like that. And everybody was saying, "Don't worry, it's all going to be whatever, da da da." And you don't believe it, right? But it is like that. And how many times do you have to experience it? Life is like that. You do all this stuff, and it's over in a bubble. It's a little bubble that just goes. And hopefully I'll learn. But it was just such a lesson. Such a lesson.
And yeah, it was all in a day's work from him. He's looking and he's seeing awesome grandmother, awesome grandfather.
Yeah.
So lucky.
Plus, I have 10 other cases, so.
There was 9 on the list, and he really.
You were not a problem.
You are not a problem, lady. Just you're gonna have problems, but
it's like I can't make you not have a life, but you will.
Yeah,
At this moment, it's not. It's just.
It was just funny. It really was the funniest thing.
Yeah, that's great. And if you can remember the bubble, that was the thing. That's the thing. You can remember it another time.
Yeah,
when
I'm hoping that will serve me well.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
That's great.
I think a cataract is a waterfall that forms in a storm.
Okay, so
We're
it's
both right.
that's good. That's
I
good.
thought a cataract was like a cascade, but little.
I think that we're going. I want to.
It's
The
like
shape.
when the water overwhelms, I think, and then.
It must be opaque or something to block your vision, or why would it translate to the eye surgery
Yeah,
thing? That's
exactly.
I'm going to have to research
White.
this.
I think
Blow
because
is white. Yeah,
foamy.
blow winds and crack your cheeks. Rage blow you cataracts and hurricanes. That was the Shakespeare line.
Well,
So
I
I was
gotta
just-
look it up.
Yes, that's right.
What does it have to do with the cloudy lens?
What does it have to do with it?
Well, there is a place called Cataract Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Where's that?
I agree. I'm just curious about Shakespeare because this is from this
In
is
Mount Hannah.
this is a translation into older language probably. This is, might be, but yeah. Old words. I've been very interested. Those are some things are very evanescent, and some things are so surprisingly durable. And I like that too. Like things that the way that I can't. Somebody recently, I'm trying to remember, get this memory because it completely matched something I noticed when I was a kid. I used to ride my bike to school, and it was near the ocean, and it was very foggy some mornings. Not all that often, but enough so in the fog you would be able to see maybe 10 feet away from you. And I noticed when I was riding the bike path that I would see somebody and then they would disappear from my view, and I could never know if I'd see them again. Mm-hmm. And I got this, it just headed that, like, oh, that's what life is like. That it's always going to be like that. Mm-hmm. That you can't, you just have it for a second, and then it just goes out, and you don't know. But then the interesting thing is when something does come back, and you realize, oh, this has been, there's these webs that keep things going around me, and they don't disappear, and somehow I keep noticing ways that that's true. I mean, I've been interested in Chinese etymology. I've been interested in the origins of words because I was doing them for this refuge ceremony, and noticed that meanings are traceable back thousands and thousands of years because they're pictures that were drawn on shells or on bones, and we still have them. And they look like something, and we still have something of the mind that made them, and also a language that there was no cut, there was no break in it. It's this, Chinese language is still the same one, more or less. And so that's the other side of the there's something eternal, and there's something incredibly evanescent. It somehow points to there's nothing. Time not being real, that there's not, that the past is now sometime, the past is happening in the present, and it didn't have to hold hands all the way back. It just reappears, and that moment of your granddaughter with Bubble is like forever, and just over in a blink, but something very mysterious about that. About time and impermanence. Anything else? What do you say we sit for another just 5 minutes or so? And just sit in that, I don't know. Look inside and discover what a cataract is. Since apparently we are all cataracts. As a lamp, a cataract, a star in space, an illusion. A dewdrop, a bubble, a dream. A cloud, a flash of lightning. You all created things this way. Notice the way things just keep coming into existence and going out again. So thank you.
Thank you.
Announcements. What's the day? Amy and I are leading a meditation walk in the hills above where she lives, St. Helena Road, and
Sunday, October 6th.
Sunday, October 6th. So I'll be teaching here on October 6th in the morning, and then there'll be a break, during which time you're allowed to get lunch. And then you will all... and it's, go on, walk, hang out, see this really, really beautiful place on the hill. We hope I think the weather is going to be cool and beautiful. Other things, there are retreats, and there's an October retreat. There's this interesting retreat in November in Oaxaca, Mexico, that this lady, Rachel Boughton, is giving. And if you can get plane tickets, it's going to be cool. It's the weekend after Days of the Dead, so which is a wild and wonderful time in Oaxaca. So I'm told, and I have not been. And Dee Allen's got us a place up in the hills that's absolutely gorgeous, kind of in the wild lands.
Next week's is silent.
Next week is silent sitting. Amy will be here, so it'll be just meditation, tea, meditation, walking, meditation with a koan and good company and no stress. And next Sunday, we'll keep you posted. Either me or Orlando will be here teaching. Box by the door says donations, and that's how we keep going. So glad to be able to do this. And I think that's it. Thank you all out there for being here.
Amy, can I join you?